Hello everyone and welcome back to another fantastic episode of hashtag Ask the Home Care Expert. I am here with my special guest, Genea Luck.
Hello.
From AARP, so we are happy to have her today.
Hi everyone, good afternoon.
She's actually been doing her own Facebook Live shows on her page. So now she gets to come on our page and talk about some AARP and some different things that are going on for 2018, right?
Yes, and visit the professionals. David was kind enough to tease out and share all of the great things that he has been doing at HomeCare.com and be my tutor in helping me learn Facebook Live. So yes, it has been interesting to know that social media is so popular in this capacity, and so many individuals are able to connect and ask questions and just have an opportunity to learn something. Sometimes we use social media in ways to share photos or recipes and cooking shows, but to have a network for caregivers and professionals and people in the community to stay connected, this is awesome.
Yeah, and that's why we do the show, to be a resource for everyone out there as far as what's going on, what are the different things that are available. We joke with the story. I always like to tell that, when you're pregnant and you have a child, you get all these things. You get all these gifts bags, and you get all these information for what to expect, and then first 9 months. But when it comes to a diagnosis of dementia or Parkinson's, you don't get any of that, and you actually don't go out in public, and all those things really change. So that's why we're trying to be a resource for everyone that's out there watching. So, and if you are watching, please make sure that you like it, you share it, and leave a comment. Let us know where you are. Genea had somebody from Argentina the other day, so I want to see if how far out we can kind of share our messaging.
Yes, indeed. Well, thank you again, David, for having me here. And I'm with AARP, the Virginia State Office. So I cover the state of Virginia doing multicultural outreach. Covering the state of Virginia is a wonderful thing. We're here today in Northern Virginia, but we have some wonderful counterparts. Our AARP State Office is located in Richmond, right downtown Richmond in Main Street, and we have staff that are strategically located all throughout Virginia. So my counterpart, Brian, he's out in Roanoke. Tress is in the Tidewater area, and Amber covers the Northern Virginia area. So we have a small but mighty team. We have 2 advocacy directors doing statewide advocacy and federal advocacy work. So small but mighty team, making sure that the AARP is showing up in the community and connecting with great community partners and building great relationships, such as the new relationship we have with David.
Yeah,
So,
and talk a little bit about AARP. We all get the flyers and postcards, and I'm not even 55 yet, so I was getting those postcards and information and what we see on TV. But what does AARP do? Am I automatically a member? How does all that stuff work?
Well, AARP is a membership organization.
And the goals.
Yes,
we were talking about earlier.
Mm-hmm. Well, just to start off, we were founded by a retired teacher, Dr. Ethel Percy Andrus. Founded our organization. We are celebrating, I believe, our 60th anniversary this year. And our foundation is celebrating the 50th this year. So AARP has been around for a while. We are, I was told, the largest nonprofit in the country. And we have a wonderful magazine, the AARP magazine and the AARP Bulletin. Most people know us by those magazines. And we are a membership organization that you can join every year, and you receive benefits. But more importantly, the founding principles and mission and vision of Dr. Ethel Percy Andrus, her life was built behind the motto to serve and not be served. What can we do as AARP staff and volunteers to help serve the community? And so a lot of times you may not know all of the great things that we do on a grassroots level, but we're behind the scenes collecting food for the food banks and partnering with many food banks, specifically in Virginia. One example, in Southwest, we have a big Soup for Seniors project that we support with the local LOA, and packing soup cans and delivering those bags of foods to seniors that during the winter months, it's sometimes hard with the snow and the ice to get the Meals on Wheels to those individuals that live out in rural Southwest Virginia. But this program that AARP supports in Southwest, again, it's a wonderful grassroots opportunity of giving back. We also, our founding mother, Dr. Ethel Percy Andrus, she had the mission and vision to make sure that AARP was a strong advocacy arm, and we have supported the senior population across the country in having a voice and making sure that Medicare and Social Security, everything that we've worked hard, many years, worked hard to have an opportunity with the government to support us as we age. We are that voice. So we do a lot of great advocacy outreach and supporting those members and non-members who are 50 and over, and making sure that the legislators don't forget about us. And we, in particular in Virginia, our strategic priorities for 2018 include Medicaid expansion and making sure also there's more funding for the long-term care ombudsman program that's here in Virginia. And so again, to have a long-term care ombudsman checking in and making sure that nursing homes across the state are really having the patient's interests at heart. That's something that, again, you wouldn't hear every day, that AARP is behind the scenes and pushing and encouraging and having those conversations. But we do a lot of community service. We have a lot of advocacy outreach. We work to support town halls. We do a lot of community education. That's something that I would say is 90% of my job, is talking and speaking and helping our volunteer leaders conduct a speakers bureau. We have speakers that host wonderful community conversations and workshops that help the public prepare, connect, learn. All these workshops are free, and we host them at local libraries, community centers, partner organizations. I know I host a lot of them at churches, but we connect with great community partners to bring good information in your backyard, in your neighborhood, so that, again, it gives us all an opportunity to stay informed, stay connected, stay empowered, and stay engaged. Oftentimes we maybe, are retired and you get into a routine that may not have you as engaged with, others in the community. Sometimes our neighborhoods are not having the block parties like they used to, so AARP will host a block party. Right. Yes, we do events, fun with purpose events. We have some dinner groups and, Zumbathons. We do a lot of fun movies for grown-ups are another popular way for people to stay engaged and connected, and AARP hosts that. So again, you just never know what to expect from AARP, but it's a great organization. Again, I work at the state office. We are nationwide, and people can stay connected with us with our website, AARP.org, or our magazine.
And that actually brings me up to a great point. I mean, you kind of hit on a lot of the good things that AARP is doing. One of the things that I really want to talk about today is, we're working with a lot of caregivers, families that are taking care of their mom or dad, or even professional caregivers out there. So for them, the caregiver resources, what are some of the resources that you have available? Where can they find them?
Yes. And
maybe kind of talk in a little bit more details what the different types are.
Yes, absolutely. Well, since we're online, I would like to promote after this live show, just go to aarp.org /caregiving. And that's the central hub.
Okay.
The online hub.
And you have a document that we can download too.
Yes. On that document, the Prepare to Care guide.
And we're gonna, by the way, in the comments section, either during this video or right afterwards, we are going to have a link of that. Make sure it's available to everyone, so they can easily just kind of click on it. And if you're watching us on YouTube or LinkedIn, we're gonna try to put it on the link on there as well. So you'll actually have the caregiver resource PDF from AARP directly on our page, so you'll easily be able to be able to download it, as well as links that Genea is about to talk about.
Yes. So again, our AARP /caregiving site is a special site on AARP that provides a lot of different resources for caregivers. There are videos online to give you some examples and help you understand what is caregiving, what to expect when you're caregiving for a family member. Some of our documentaries that are online are award-winning now. They are short mini movies that have gotten great recognition. We have caregiving videos and documentaries that are in particularly target to the Hispanic Latino population, the Asian American population, African American population. So we have videos and information also tailored in different languages and culturally appropriate, culturally sensitive, to make sure that everyone in America is able to understand that caregiving is it's not one size fits all. Mm-hmm. And in different states and even different parts of Virginia, one size doesn't fit all.
That's true.
So you have to know what resources are out there, and you really have to stay updated because they're always changing. With the help of technology, we hope to have information readily available to you pretty quickly. In particular, just to know that legislation also is changing. A couple weeks ago, the Senate passed the RAISE Act. And so hopefully you will go on AARP.org and you learn a little bit more about the RAISE Act or the C.A.R.E. Act. In particular, the C.A.R.E. Act, it hits home to me because when you take a loved one to the hospital, and whether you're taking a loved one for a routine visit or outpatient surgery, even a mother giving birth, you go into the hospital, you want to have the opportunity, and this is what the C.A.R.E. Act. The C.A.R.E. Act stands for Caregiver Advise, Record, Enable Act, C.A.R.E. And each letter stands for Caregiver Advise, Record, Enable Act. It helps family caregivers be designated, recognized by the hospital administration and staff to make sure that they are designated as a family caregiver so that they are informed and upon discharge of a facility or going to another facility or being discharged back home, the caregiver is made aware of this so that nothing is done without their knowledge or approval, and also to provide an explanation and demonstration of any of the medical tasks your caregiver will need to know. This is very important because it cuts down on the repeat visits or the repeat middle of the night emergency room visits because a port is oozing or a bandage is a wound is becoming infected, or I'll just speak from my own personal testimony. When I was discharged after having 33 hours of labor and giving birth to a beautiful child, I would say within 8 hours I developed a very serious kidney infection from the catheter.
Wow.
I had no clue.
Wow.
But that information was buried in a folder that was given to me upon discharge.
Right.
But, when you have a new baby, all of that folder, who knows where that folder ended up. So, again, it's really important that those folders and the discharge papers and all of that information, you're having that conversation with your healthcare professional before you leave the hospital with a caregiver. Because a caregiver may not be so excited or, still recovering from, whatever medications you may have been on. But it is important to have the C.A.R.E. Act support recognizing caregivers, family caregivers, in the hospital setting.
Yeah, that's great, and I really appreciate you showing it. And again, if this stuff is valuable, please like this video. Please, share it with other friends and family that couldn't be here at 2:00, that they can take advantage of it. And if you're on one of our pages, please make sure to follow us and subscribe to not only our pages, but AARP Virginia has also got their own Facebook page and some other pages that we're going to share it out with. So, please make sure to continue to subscribe it, like it, and share it with those that are not here with us. A couple of things that I found on this site that has really been valuable. You talk about identity theft with seniors. We talk about HomeFit with seniors. The identity theft was one of the big things that really shocked me. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Yes, we have AARP's part of our community outreach. We have campaigns, and so different campaigns hit different topics. So under the Fraud Watch campaign, the Fraud Watch Network, again, if you're online, just type in AARP.org, and once you're on our page, you just type in Fraud Watch Network. You can do this online, but more importantly, you can go to a local workshop. We have here in the state of Virginia a speakers bureau where we have wonderful volunteer speakers and sometimes staff. They'll conduct the workshops too, where we host these community conversations to share the information about protecting yourself from fraud, identity theft, cybercrime, online thefts, investment fraud, financial exploitation. That's a biggie. That's a real big issue in working with families to talk about and recognizing the red flags that exist when someone is a victim of financial exploitation. Sometimes this is not talked about readily, and it is unfortunately happening a lot. And we host these workshops in the community, and they're usually 45 minutes to an hour. It depends on how engaged our audience is, because we try to make our workshops interactive. We want individuals to look at videos. We have videos actually in the Fraud Watch Network. Those videos actually scare me to the point where you have a video from a criminal in prison sharing why do they prey on seniors. Why do they drive around in neighborhoods, certain neighborhoods, to prey on members of immigrant communities? And how they check the mailboxes. So again, those videos are online on the Fraud Watch Network, but again, it's more important that you have the opportunity to go to a community workshop and you participate in the Fraud Watch learnings and have the worksheets and the handouts, and to connect with individuals to know in particular some of the newer cyber crimes or the direct mail crimes or the telephone calls. I mean, how many of us have gotten calls to say that if you don't call this number within 24 hours, you're going to be locked up because the feds are coming to get you? Yeah. Very threatening voicemails or phone calls that are happening now. So again, at our community conversations, community workshops, we talk about a lot of these recent scams and fraudulent activities. Also, we have workshops. Prepare to Care is one of them. Caregiving workshops. We also have the HomeFit Workshop. Yeah. HomeFit is, how do you get your home fit? How do you get your car fitted at the local auto mechanic? But how do you do that for your home? After 5 years, do you winterize your home? Or after a couple of years, do you update the roof? But have you thought through what you want to do in 20 or 30 years of your home to make sure that if in fact you need a walker or a cane, or you need some help, grab bars in the restroom, how do you do that? How do you go about working with a contractor if you're going to purchase a new home 30, 40, 50 years from now? Should you talk about widening the doors or making sure the cabinets are of a certain height if in fact you might need to be utilizing a wheelchair? So all of those things are in a HomeFit Workshop. And AARP, again, we're hosting that free of charge in the the community, and we are working to support our Livable Communities work. So a lot of local municipalities are looking at how do we make sure that our communities, our neighborhoods are livable, are really inclusive of making sure that families are able to walk, the streets are safe, we have sidewalks, we have playgrounds, but senior walking trails, and we have that opportunity for our neighborhoods and our homes to become more livable. And that's AARP hosting that type of workshop in the community. We also have brain health workshops.
Wow.
How do we keep our mental agility? How do we stay mentally sharp? And this is again important because a lot of people think as you age, you're going to immediately get dementia.
Yeah.
That's not the case. So there is an opportunity to connect with AARP Virginia and attend a wonderful brain health workshop that takes you through, here are some tips and what you could possibly eat and where you could possibly do, how do you, stay actively engaged I always say that for me, my brain is like a muscle. So if I don't use it often or, work and read and stay up to date and work that muscle of my brain, it's going to atrophy. So I think that we are onto something with this brain health workshop. I have attended some of them, and again, it's always good to stay engaged and continue to learn. So yes, we have a lot of resources online, but more importantly, the state offices, and I'm just plugging Virginia, but we have a AARP state office in every state of the United States.
And just as just curiosity, if you're online, you're watching this, let us know what state you're from.
Yes.
And that way we could also make sure we get resources out there. So just leave a quick comment to say, hey, checking in from either Roanoke, Richmond, or out in California. So please, love to hear from where people are listening in from today.
Yes, indeed. So again, we host a lot of community workshops, and we have wonderful volunteers, teams of volunteers that are trained to connect with us and delivering the content in the community. And more importantly, we're partnering with different groups. So I also make sure that connecting with the faith-based community is important to be a conduit of good information, good resources. But I am a member of the faith-based community, and I've been a leader in different capacities. But I'm sure if you are a member of a faith community, you might know that there's often like a children's ministry or women's ministry. There are different groups that work with different activities within a church or a faith community. So AARP would like to connect, and we have done so very well in many congregations, to host events and support those ministries that are doing different events. So we provide speakers. I know there was one Hispanic congregation in Springfield that I worked with the pastor, and we provided a Zumba session. She was working to try to do more outreach in the community, and they were in a facility that was had a really big gym, and yet they weren't using it. So again, AARP was able to kind of co-host and co-partner and host the Zumba session. So you never know where.
And actually, we're working on it. We're just starting the talks now about doing a faith-based conference here in Northern Virginia.
Yes.
Something that we're able to get, hopefully, pastors and priests and rabbis and from as well as
all denominations,
as well as LGBT communities and other communities to be able to come in and talk about and get resources for caregiving, for theft, for HomeFit, for all these different avenues. We really want to be able to provide a conference later this year. So please continue to check in, and it should be really exciting. I know you're working with a couple partners on your end as well.
Yes, and so having AARP host events to provide forums to either connect those that are nonprofits or those ministers, those leaders, those members, to have that opportunity to connect and to share lessons learned, to share resources, to share best practices. This is how we started our caregiving ministry. This is how we started our health and wellness ministry. This is how we go out and we decided to create a walking trail. There are many people that are connected to faith communities, whatever denomination, and some are going on a repeat basis, at least once a week.
That's
So
amazing.
to have, your faith congregation support you staying healthy, staying active, staying informed, staying empowered, I believe, a person of faith, myself, you have spiritual wellness when you are physically well and you're mentally well. And I think, going to support the faith community to help them with our resources, whether it's booklets or, the handouts or giving them the water bottles for their walking group.
Yeah.
Who knows? But that's the AARP opportunity to think through the possibilities. And AARP is all about real possibilities and trying to figure out how do we connect in a great way to make sure that we are customizing and being culturally sensitive and culturally relevant in all things that support wellness and helping you stay well. And I think for me, being spiritually well and mentally well and physically well makes me a happier person.
And there's no happier person. Look at that smile. I just love that smile.
I blame McDonald's and the caffeine.
Absolutely. Well, I really appreciate you coming in today.
Thank you, David.
Is there, before we head off, is there anything else you'd like to wrap up by telling people about, and where can they get in for more information about AARP?
Yes, always online.
And what about you?
Okay,
If they want to
always
reach out to
online.
you.
Don't leave me any hate mail or anything. But AARP.org/Virginia, AARP.org/VA is our AARP website. We also have the AARP Facebook page. And again, if you want to call me directly, 804-344-3060. Sure,
that might
why
be a scary
not?
thing. I don't know if you want to do that in phone number.
Sure, why not?
But thank you so much. And again, if you're not watching this live and you do have a question, please leave it in the comments section below. We'll make sure to get to it. Also, if you're enjoying this type of information, again, please hit like, please comment, please subscribe if you're on YouTube. And lastly, if there's more videos like this, there's more speakers you want us to bring in, please let me know. Again, for Genea Luck with AARP Virginia, my name is David Posner, HomeCare.com. Thank you so much for watching today.
Thank you.
Bye.